But Cass, let's start with the news that broke last night. Some really explosive comments from Mohamed Salah after the game. He said he feels as though the club has thrown him under the bus in a bombshell interview after their 3-3 draw at Leeds, and promises have been broken to him, and he feels like he very much sees his immediate future elsewhere. I mean, Cass, what do you make of all of this?
Not surprised that a player has took upon himself to literally vent his anger about being left out. Well, I understand you can be angry about being dropped. I mean, the comment that you said, it's not acceptable to me, to be honest. I don't know why it's always happens to me. I mean, it's never happened to you. That for a start. I don't remember, if you've had all that success as a player at a football club, he's pretty much been a regular for the last, 9 years. So it's not always happening to you. And Mo's not owning up to his form. He's blaming Slot. He's blaming the club. The bottom line is you've been dropped because you've been poor this year. And you think you're immune to criticism. Well, you're not, because he sets his own standards. And he's been brilliant for Liverpool. Every Liverpool fan loves Mo Salah and is appreciative of what he's done for the football club. But if you go out of form, I don't care who you are, if you're a big club and you're off form, you're going to either be left out or be driven out of the club. That's happened to many people. It happened to Ronaldo at Manchester United. It happened to Ozil and Aubameyang at Arsenal and others, Alexis Sanchez. You can name a whole host of players. But Mo is literally throwing the club under the bus for me, not the other way round, because how do you not understand why you've been left out? Your numbers, if you go through Mo's numbers, and I read out yesterday, the last 30 games, 7 goals. And if you go the previous 30 games, 25 goals in 30 games. He set that standard. And I understand he might be unhappy with Slot, the way it's been handled. We don't know that. We're not privy to all that sort of stuff. But what I would say, it's a reaction of a player who, for me, has not come to terms at all with how poorly he's been this year.
Well, Arne Slot said after the game that we have to accept the situation that we're in at the moment, and I base my decisions on that. Mo Salah's now been on the bench for the last 3 games. He goes off to AFCON next week. They've got Inter and Brighton just before that. So do you see Mo Salah staying at Liverpool if this continues?
Well, it's a tough one because now it's going to be a power struggle, isn't it? Because Arne Slot's under pressure because Liverpool are faltering. Like yesterday was a typical performance of Liverpool this season where they've got themselves in a position and they fell apart, made loads of mistakes, and it's ended up being a 3-3 draw. They're conceding goals at an alarming rate. So Arnie's under pressure. Mo Salah's come under pressure from himself. And that's nothing that Arnie will want to deal with. He will look now as Mo Salah's another problem. He's got about 10 issues. I could literally go top of my head, 10 issues he's got to deal with. Mo Salah probably is a priority, which he's already done, left him out. So he'll put that one to the back burner. He won't like it that Mo's come out and said, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I'd love to know what Liverpool fans think. When a player comes out and says that he's been thrown under the bus and he doesn't understand why. How can you not understand? When I was left out, I knew why I was left out.
And what did you do about it?
Well, I wouldn't like it, but what do you have to do? You have to prove that you're, worthy of a place. You have to prove the manager wrong. You have to go in and train hard. You have to show in training that you're ready to go back into the first team and show again, once you cross that white line, that you're still a player. Mo has just literally thrown every toy out the pram in every way. I don't get it because we see this. I mean, look, big players have massive egos, and I get that. That's what makes them the players they are. But you have to come to terms with why you've been left out.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Chris Sutton also agrees with you in terms of, he says it's embarrassing for Mo Salah and disrespectful to his teammates and his manager. Salah is no different from any other player. If a player's form drops as Salah's has, he's in the same situation as everyone else and has to accept being benched. But he thinks he's too good to be benched, sadly.
Yeah, well, he's not been too good because what we've seen of Mo Salah this season, if he'd have been anybody playing to a standard that's below what that we know they're capable of, you get left out in football. That's what happens. Again, going back to your club, Ozil, Aubameyang. What happened? You remember the Aubameyang when he signed that new deal and Arteta's presenting him and got him to sign this new contract, and then suddenly all his form disappeared in a heartbeat. What did Arteta have to do? He had to get him out of the club. It become that. And now, are we getting to the stage, and I think we clearly are, that Mo Salah now becomes a problem that you've got to remove?
Yeah. Well, this is what Salah said about his relationship with Arne Slot. I said many times before that I had a good relationship with the manager, and all of a sudden we don't have any relationship. I don't know why, but it seems to me, how I see it, that someone doesn't want me at this club. Lots of the headlines are regarding Mo Salah after this really explosive interview following their 3-3 draw with Liverpool and Leeds last night. Let's speak to Alex Crook, talkSPORT chief football reporter here. Salah says, Crookie, that he feels the club has thrown him under the bus and believes that promises have been broken, and feels he very much sees his immediate future elsewhere. What do you make of all of this?
Yeah, good morning. Well, I'm fascinated to get Cass's views on this as a Liverpool supporter, because I think it's one that probably will divide opinion amongst the fan base. Speaking to people close to the football club, the word that came out more than most last night was sad. A sad way to potentially tarnish his legacy, a sad way to maybe exit the football club, because, of course, one of the things he said in this bombshell interview was the game against Brighton could be his last at Anfield. He's invited the family to come along just in case that is the case. We know there's interest from Saudi Arabia. I expected him to leave at the end of the season and make that big money move to the Middle East. But it does feel to me like this is possibly Mo Salah trying to accelerate his departure. I think the line that sticks in my throat is that he's earned the right to play every game because of what he's done in the past. That's not how football works. And if you look at Mo Salah's form, not just this season, but the second half of last season when the goals really dried up, I don't think he does warrant a place in this starting 11. But it's going to be fascinating to see how the owners react to this power play that Salah has chucked out there. And really, he's backed up what Jamie Carragher said a few weeks ago. The only time we hear from Mo Salah is when he's got something to get off his chest or he's trying to get himself a new contract. I think the Liverpool owners have to come out now and back the manager and allow him to stand by his decision.
Yeah, look, he's thrown the club under the bus for me. It's not the other way round. And I've never heard of broken promises. But I mean, that's the first question to me for Mo. What promises are the club or the club broken? Because I can't think of one. I need to know, because you're saying they've broken promises. What promises? You've played every game before you got dropped.
Yeah, he's played every game. Obviously, they broke their own policy, really, by giving a player in the twilight of his career such a big money contract in order to keep him at the club. And obviously, you go back to that announcement, he was sat on a throne in the middle of the Anfield pitch. So he has literally been treated like a king. But you're only as good as your last performance, and his last performances haven't been good enough. He's not the only one, by the way. Maybe he's looking at the likes of Kanate and Cody Gakpo and thinking, well, how come they're keeping their place in the team? But the issue you've always had with Mo Salah is his work rate off the ball. When he's scoring goals, he's making assists. The fact he doesn't really like to track back isn't a problem. But when you're in a team that is struggling to pick up points and your own output has dropped, I think that gives the manager a real headache. And I don't think anybody, even the staunchest of Mo Salah fan, could really complain that he's been left out for the past 2 games.
Yeah.
Crookie, we've had this text coming in here from Daniel Dean saying Mo Salah this season so far doesn't track back, doesn't take players on, doesn't score, doesn't defend, doesn't run. What the hell are we meant to do? Just keep playing a player that's playing rubbish? He's not bigger than the club. It's disgraceful what he's done.
I think that's the key line there. No player is bigger than the football club. And as I say, I think this is now a power struggle between Mo Salah and the manager, and that is why what the Liverpool hierarchy do next is going to be really interesting. What I don't expect Arne Slot to do is react to these comments and say, you know what, Mo, you're right, because you scored all those goals last season, I'm going to put you straight back in the team in the Champions League against Inter Milan in midweek. If anything, I think it will strengthen Arne Slot's resolve that at the moment, Mo Salah shouldn't be anywhere near the starting 11. It will be interesting to see if he's even on the bench when that big Champions League game comes around. As I say, I think this is quite a sad way for Mo Salah to seemingly try and force an exit from the football club that he served with such distinction to this point.
Yeah, Crookie, I mean, Arne Slot said on Mo Salah, we have to accept the situation we are in, and I base my decisions on that. 3 games, Mo Salah's now been on the bench, and he's off to AFCON very shortly. So let's see what happens when he gets back.